Did you know that every movement you make, from blinking your eyes to walking, depends on your muscles? Today, let's explore the human muscular system. Before I begin, Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Jazri Hazim bin Jeffrey. From lecture group 3, subgroup 4, we'll briefly explain to you a bit on the surface regarding the human muscular system. Muscle cells, or also known as muscle fibers, are specialized cells that can contract and relax to produce movement. They contain myofibrils that made of actin and myosin proteins, which move past one another during contraction. In addition, muscle cells also use energy in the form of ATP to work and are essential for body movement. Last but not least, human muscular system can be divided to skeletal, cardiac, and smooth muscle.
Next, I'll be discussing the cardiac muscle cell or cardiomyocyte. It was found in the exclusive in the heart. These cells are the ultimate examples of cellular cooperation. Structurally, they are branched and striated. Their most critical feature is intercalated disc, which contains gap junctions. These act as high-speed communication channels, allowing electrical impulses to spread instantly so the heart can contract a single synchronized unit to pump blood efficiently. They form the heart stick muscular layer, providing continuous involuntary contractions. Because they never rest, they are packed with mitochondria to produce the constant energy needed for a lifetime of pumping oxygen and nutrients to the rest of the body. So for homeostasis, these cells regulate blood pressure and blood flow by adjusting their contraction rate to based on the body state. So this maintains the internal balance required for survival. So now I pass it to member B for skeletal muscle cell. Thank you.
Skeletal muscle cells, also known as muscle fibers, are highly specialized cells adapted for movement. Structurally, they are long, cylindrical, and multinucleated, which helps them to generate strong contractions. These cells have a striated appearance due to the orderly arrangement of actin and myosin filaments into repeating units called sarcomeres. They also contain many mitochondria to supply energy for contraction and a specialized membrane called the sarcolemma that carries electrical impulses along the cell. Additionally, the sarcoplasmic reticulum stores calcium ions that are essential for muscle contraction. In terms of function, skeletal muscle cells contract and relax under voluntary control. This allows them to produce force, move body at joints, and maintain posture and balance. The role of skeletal muscle cells in the body includes enabling movement such as walking, running, and lifting objects. They are also involved in breathing through muscles like the diaphragm and intercostal muscles, and they contribute to facial expression and speech. Furthermore, skeletal muscle cells generate heat when they contract, helping to warm the body. Skeletal muscle cells also play an important role in homeostasis. They help regulate body temperature by releasing heat during muscle activity. They maintain stable blood glucose levels by storing glycogen and using glucose for energy. In addition, muscle contraction assists blood circulation by helping push blood back to the heart, especially during movement. Overall, skeletal muscle cells are essential for movement, energy regulation, and maintaining a stable internal environment.
Muscle cell is the key to many of our body's vital functions that plays a role in blood circulation and digestion, eyesight, and much more. So now let's move on to the function of this cell. First, they perform in tonic contraction, which means they can stay partially contracted for long periods without getting tired. So this is important for our blood pressure to keep maintained. So the second is smooth muscle cells enable peristalsis, which is the wave-like movement that pushes food through the digestive tract. The third is airway adjustment by controlling the diameter of air passages in the lungs that allow more or less air to flow as we need it. And lastly is the volume regulation, such as controlling the size of blood vessels and hollow organs like the bladder and uterus. Now is the section of smooth muscle cell, which is spindle shaped, meaning they are wide in the middle and tapered at both ends. So each cell contains a single centrally located nucleus. The third is the cell have a non-striated appearance, so they do not show the stripe pattern. They contain dense bodies, which anchor the contractile proteins and allow the cell to contract efficiently. So the role for this body is in the cardiovascular system, where the cells line blood vessels and control their diameter. By contracting or relaxing, they regulate blood flow and the blood pressure. And the second is in the digestive system, where the cells produce peristaltic movements that push foods through the esophagus, stomach, and intestines, allowing the digestion and absorption to occur. And the third is in the respiratory system, where the cells control the size of the airways, especially during exercise or breathing difficulties. The fourth is the renal or urinary system, where the cells help move the urine through the ureters and control the emptying of the bladder. The role in the homeostasis, which they help with regulation of blood pressure by adjusting the diameter of blood vessels. Next is thermoregulation by controlling blood flow to the skin, allowing the body to conserve or release heat. And lastly is the cell supports oxygen and gas exchange by regulating airway size and blood flow in the lungs, and ensuring the efficient of delivery of oxygen and removal of carbon dioxide. And I think that's all for me. Thank you.
For my presentation on muscle-cell communications, I decided to look at the body as a social network. Just like us, different cells have different privacy settings and ways of sharing information. I have broken down our three specialized muscle cells, which are cardiac muscles, smooth muscles, and skeletal muscles, into three types of social media interactions for better understanding. Starting on the left, we have skeletal muscle. I've labeled these the direct comment line. In biological terms, this is a somatic connection. These cells, they are like the one friend who only checks the DM. They don't move unless they get a private message, specifically a neurotransmitter called acetylcholine, which is sent directly from a motor neuron. If you don't see the accept button, nothing happens. This is why the movement is fast and voluntary. In the middle, we have cardiac muscles, which runs on a mesh network. These cells are in a permanent live group chat. While the brain can send a signal to start the beat, the cells themselves are connected by intercalated discs and gap junction. This allows electrical signals to jump from cell to cell instantly. It's like a message that is automatically shared with the whole group so that the entire heart contracts as one perfect unit. No lag, no delays. And finally, on the right, we have smooth muscle. This is a wireless broadcast. These cells, they don't usually have a direct wire or line to the brain. Instead, they react to global stories or texts, things like hormones or adrenaline floating in the bloodstream. Because they have to wait for the signal to reach them through the body's Wi-Fi, their response is much slower and involuntary, like the steady pace of your digestion. So, whether it's a private DM, a synchronous group chat, or a global notifications, these communication styles ensures our muscles respond exactly when and how they need to.
In conclusion, the human muscular system plays a vital role in voluntary movement by contracting and relaxing to generate force and tension. It helps maintain posture, balance, and body stability while also preventing injury. Beyond movement, muscles contribute to body temperature, glucose maintenance, and blood circulation. The muscular system works closely with cardiovascular, respiratory, digestive, and renal systems to support oxygen and gas exchange. Altogether, these interactions highlight the importance of the muscular system in sustaining normal body functions and overall health. Without muscles, everyday activities like walking, lifting, or even smiling would not be possible.